Hey guys, Ken Kaplan coming to you live from the New England Motorcycle Museum with Senator Dan Champagne. How are you today, sir?
Good. How you doing, Ken?
Good.
Hello, everyone.
Guys, tomorrow is going to be the first event. We just opened the museum last Tuesday. It's going to be the first event we're having at the museum this year, and it's a fundraiser for Dan. He's running for his second term as Senator of the 31st District for the state of Connecticut. Is that correct?
Yep, 35th District, Ken. Thank you.
So it's 5:30 to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Everybody's welcome. If you ride a motorcycle, you're going to want to come. If you're a Connecticut citizen who cares about keeping the taxes where they are and not having the taxes go up, you're going to want to come. Dan, I've known Dan for a long time. He's been a long-time Connecticut resident, and he been a big part of the community. What year? You've been here since you were a kid, right?
Yeah, I grew up here, Ken. 1978, I moved in. I was 9 years old.
And you went to Vernon High School, right?
Rockville High School, yes.
Where did you live when you were a kid? Right around the corner here, right?
Right here on Village Street, right next to the house. You went up there.
So he's a local resident, and you were a Vernon police officer for some time too, right?
22 years.
22 years. And he has a master's degree in
Public administration?
Public administration. So he's highly overqualified and also has been mayor of Vernon for quite some time and accomplished a lot of great things as a senator and mayor of our town here. So what are your goals for your next term? I know you've kicked butt this term, and you're looking to accomplish great things in the next term. What are the most important things to Connecticut?
Well, Ken, there's a couple things. You know, the citizens of our state have said that their taxes are too high, the cost of living's too high, businesses are leaving. My goal is, you know, we need to protect those. We also need to protect our Constitution and our rights that we have under it. So my goal is essentially stopping any tax increase that we possibly can, looking to keep our businesses here. You know, what do we have to do to do that? Let's find our goals and get it done. You know, I'm conservative. I want to spend money, but I want to do it in such a way that we get the maximum benefit. And if we can lower the cost, let's do it. It's called negotiation. I think the state doesn't do enough of it.
Yeah, I agree. Dan has an incredible track record of accomplishments in the area. He's been responsible for many improvements in the town. What happened on 19 Grove Street? That was a total eyesore a few years ago. How did you turn that around?
Well, first of all, I had somebody from the EPA in the office. I knew that we needed that cleaned up, so I just threw it to them. Will you guys help clean it up? And they said yes. In fact, within the next month, we should have it done, and that will be an open park.
What we're talking about is what was an eyesore. There were 14 or 15 industrial buildings practically falling into the river. It was an abandoned industrial park with a big sign that said picnic tables, $20, that had been there for like 30 years since I was a kid. It had been abandoned, and somehow Dan put together a team and got the support from the EPA and the federal government where the town didn't have to pay for it. Now it's a park. That's just one of many accomplishments. We have Loom City Lofts, which is a former abandoned mill during his term as mayor and senator. That was rebuilt. The Hockenham Mill here was restored. There's how much did you do for road improvement? Because I know Connecticut has a serious bad issue with roadways and bridges. We have 3 new bridges on this street alone. The street outside is brand new, and it makes a huge impact on the value of the houses and the properties in the area. How did you accomplish that? I mean, you put all, without raising the taxes, we've got new roadways, new bridges, a new senior center, restored buildings, new businesses moving into town. I would say that your accomplishments are pretty much a role model for what small towns and states can do, working together with the federal government and local private businesses. How did you accomplish so much in so little of a time?
Kind of funny because you basically just said about everything I would. But you know, what happens is planning is the biggest part of it. You got to plan ahead. You can't look at what you can do today. You got to look at everything you can do tomorrow. So we've gone through everything in local government, and we look for every possible cost savings. In fact, we just refinanced our entire everything we owe, and we saved millions of dollars by refinancing because it was the right time to do it. Our street lights, several years ago, we replaced all our street lights. We bought them, we turned them all into LEDs, and we're saving, I think, just over $200,000 a year on that because we just paid it off. It was an internal lease to ourselves, which we paid off keeping the normal rates. So essentially, those are the types of things we were doing. And you take even the small things, and they add up over time. And we're just going to continue to do that.
So new roadways, new bridges, new lights, a new senior center. Town hall was completely remodeled recently. just the major improvements. And one of the things I got to say about Dan is I go to a lot of town council meetings. Dan has a bipartisan support, Democrats and Republicans. He is a true patriot and has fought to make our city and our state better. And I can't say that about all the politicians. Dan has somehow got the two teams to work together, and that's how did you manage to do that? Because a lot of the votes at town council are unanimous. Everybody votes for what you're supporting. How do you do that?
Well, you know, you put good things up, Ken, people will vote for them. And how do you disagree with saving money? And you know what, if we could do that on a state level, and we can, one of the big things I have an issue with the state, and this is one of the examples, is the fact that, we go out to bid for items. Well, a lot of those items, they just get a waiver, so they don't have to go out to bid. And I think that's wrong. You should go out, you should look for the best qualified candidate. That means lowest price, but still a quality product. That's what we've done. And if we can do that on a state level, we would save millions and millions of dollars right there.
And you and your teammates as senator have managed to make the no tolls. We had this big issue with tolls where a lot of small businesses would have been put out of business, trucking businesses and people who make deliveries, and a lot of people would have been severely stressed. That was like $3,000 a household. How did you guys squash the toll bill?
Well, that was more of a movement from the people. So the people, if you want change, you got to show up in large numbers. And the no tolls people showed up day after day. I think this election is important for that issue because I think in the next session, you're going to see tolls come up again. You're going to see a lot of different things coming up next session. And if people don't vote, this is the time to go out and vote. You have to realize the other parties want you to refocus on something different. What you need to do is you need to focus on what's going to make Connecticut better, not what's going on in Washington. How's it affecting your life personally? If you vote that way, then you'll know who you're going to vote for. And if you don't want tolls, then don't vote for the other party. So
really, you hit the nail on the head there, I think, when you said people coming out and getting involved, showing up in numbers. So I'm asking everybody to show up tomorrow night to not only support Dan, but his teammates and what they're accomplishing, both Democrats and Republicans pulling together to make the state better. And Connecticut's got its share of struggles. We have a lot of people leaving the state, a lot of businesses leaving the state. Dan is putting things in place that are going to keep businesses here. Now, all these improvements he's done, we've had no increase in taxes in how long has it been?
It's been a couple of years, and I don't think we've gone over 2% in almost my entire term.
So how many years have?
I'm on my 7th year now.
So 7 years, things have been dramatically better. Now, Sean Gately, who's the town, what's his title now?
Economic development.
Economic development guy. He said you're not going to recognize the town in 5 years. About 7 years ago when Dan took over, and everything they've said, everything their team put together has come to pass and more. So I'm proud to be a Vernon, Rockville citizen. My son is buying a house here in town. We're putting roots down here. We're here for the long haul. To have somebody in a place of leadership who's going to protect our rights, our constitutional rights, and our right to not be taxed out of where we are now, because the taxes keep going up, people just can't afford to stay, and people are moving out, and that's not good for the city or the town or the state. So lots of great things have been happening. Come tomorrow night, it's 5:30 to 8 o'clock at the New England Motorcycle Museum, 200 West Main Street. It's a fundraiser for Dan for his run for Senate. He's the only politician who's stepped up time and time again for the motorcycle community. If you're a motorcycle rider and you don't want the helmet law or tolls, so you're getting run over by tractor trailers at tolls, come here and vote, help Dan get back into office and get reelected. So hope to see you guys tomorrow night. Dan, is there any other key points you would like to touch on?
This is a time for people to get involved. I mean, look around our country. Our history is being erased. Our statues are being torn down. This is not what we want. This is not what we need. Come and protect your rights. And sometimes you have people who say, well, I'm not going to get involved. Well, now is the time to get involved. Again, do your homework and be careful with the media, because the media is putting stuff out that you have the tools at your hand to go online and look up that information yourself and find that the media's not leading us in the right direction. So please come out and support the team that's going to help you be able to afford to live in our state. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Juniors, anything you'd like to add?
No, you guys did great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.
Absolutely.